Welcome to episode 12 of The Creation of Joy. My name is Nir Peretz. I'm at the Hanging Gardens of Bali, and we are overlooking at the legendary Segara Temple. Uh, Thank you for joining me, and today we're going to talk about education. And before we start understanding what is education and who we are and how come we understand and feel what we do, we need to look at something simple that everybody understand what it is, and that is hypnotize. So I think that everybody understand the term of hypnotize, and this is basically when somebody overtake your subconscious and program you with some information and either go into your history, to your past, or perhaps even persuade you to do things that you wouldn't do otherwise. Um, Hypnosis is when you go into a semi-conscious phase and you are connected in a different level to a person who either obtain information from you or perhaps tell you to do something that otherwise it will be very difficult for them to persuade you to do. Um, Now we go back to education. So think of yourself when you're born as a computer that have no programs. You're a blank sheet. And from the moment that you're born, we as a society, parents, guardians, start to program this blank computer with the software. So first it's your basic things like your movement, your sleeping patterns, your eating, very basic things. And as you go along with life, you go through schools where we first program each other to read a language, to talk, how to behave. So in effect, what happened, every new person is being programmed to be part of our civilization. Um, Programming work very well when it's involving emotions. So for example, sometimes school can be very boring because all you're trying to do is to program a person with knowledge, but because it lacks of emotion, it becomes very boring and the effectivity is getting lower. The more successful students are the ones that are able to focus on the information despite the fact that perhaps the level of emotions involved in learning is low, or that they get higher level of emotion when they succeed in tests and exams. Um, we go now to media and political views. So we see a lot of people that have views that when you really test them, they defy logic. Why? The reason for that is simple. It makes them feel good on some level. And sometimes the opponent opinion makes them feel not good, perhaps anger, dissatisfaction. So whether they are right or wrong, it's irrelevant. It's what they feel. And the way that we deal with information today, especially through the media, very much involved emotions, and that's how we get into very wrong opinions. And it's very inconvenient for us to examine whether the ideas that we are being led to believe are right or correct or even suitable for our society. Very few people take the time to go back to the source and try to debate with themselves or with friends their ideology on a philosophical level. and then come up with plausibility conclusion whether they are right or wrong. What they rather to do is perhaps ventilate or give each other uh, positive emotions, so that they will fall in love and feel in their comfort zones with these ideas. And that's how you marginalize a whole civilization. So the positive and the negative ways of what's happening to the world is our system. So in the past, our towns, villages used to be like little hives. Each one is separate, and by distance and by security, where we had lots of little hives. And as technology progressed and it's become easier to connect, whether it is high tech or transportation, the whole world became one hive. So now you have a political and media system where it's very, very easy to hypnotize the whole world, and also very easy to marginalize opposing opinions. So this is the danger of the globalization of today. It wants to suppress individuality and human spirit and turn us all into statistics and numbers. I would argue that globalization is probably inevitable with the way that we work. However, especially today, we have an opportunity to at least manage our globalization in a way that we are not all the same, meaning that we can actually develop individuality and preserve cultures and customs in a unique way, so that people can still have the feel good and pass on the feel good and the creation of joy to other people, by showing each others that despite that we are all different, we can also cooperate and create joy to each other. Thank you very much for joining me, and see you at the next episode.